You know, this lot from the council, they get me. We've been having footpath done along our street for about 2 years. They're supposed to have been coming. Folks have been phoned down. It was in a great state, I tell thee. They sunk that far, I think it was held up by pit props. Anyhow, one Wednesday morning it was, street high to the blue, they come a wagging load of hardcore and 6 blokes from the council. 9:30 they turned up, and it took them 3 cups of tea to get side of the wagon down. And it took another 4 to get that up, and by snapping time they done absolutely nought. But then, after that, it was fag end under your welly and giddy up go. One on them got a pick under this paving slab and they lifted it while the other 5 watched. Then they put it down again. Then they lifted it again. Then they laid it up on its end. Then they stood talking about it for the next 2 hours. And by knocking off time, they'd managed to lean it up again purse lock its woe. That night in Tommy Dawkins' pub, Owd Grandad was going wild. "Oh, dee them bend there," he says. "Oh, dee, 6 on 'em. And all them done's lift one slab and lean it again purse lock its woe. Oh, bloody rotten." I says, all right, keep the wool on. I says, at least they'n started. Started, he says. They'd had 10 tea breaks. Then they knocked off 3 for an hour filled football cooping in. He says, then you wonder why your rates keep going up. Well, next day when they come, they got some dispute on or other, and they didn't kick in till gone 11. Then foreman had to go along Tommy Dawkins' pub, tell him to turn the waiter off. I got back at 3:20. Stop got stuck, he says. Mind they be this time, the rest on them had managed to lift another slab. They hadn't quite made purse lock its row with it, but then it was tea time again, say. One on them knocks on Owd Grandad Piggott's door. I says, "What fills me belly, mister?" Owd Grandad says, "Hey, yo lot want slow down. 2 paving slabs in 2 days." I says, "You're stretching things a bit, the nost." This bloke says, "That's what I told our gaffer. Do too much," he says, "they expect it out time." Owd Grandad says, "I'll put glucose in the billy can, should I?" "No," I says, "Sugar'll do." I says, "Sorry, trouble, but they'll well be gone in 4 week." Well, that night in the pub, you couldn't have shut Owd Grandad Piggott up. 4 week they'll buy there, he says. 4 week just for level a bit of bloody pavement type between our ice and Hildraspin old shop. I says, "All sort things, right?" I says, "Done a maither about that." Well, next day, Owd Grandad was watching these blokes from the upstairs window. Oh, moaning, I watched them. They didn't do a lot. One bloke cut his finger on a tin lid and t'other 5 bandaged it up for him. Then at dinner time, they all went down to the pub. And Owd Grandad Piggott galvanised into action. 2:30, these blokes are still sitting there on Tommy Dawkins, he's playing dominoes. And foreman says, "Right, lads, that's it, last kitty." So there's a bloke standing by the bar. He says, "I'd stop there if I was you." This bloke says, "There's an old chap out there going homer and tongues with a pick." I says, "Has been for the last hour." I said, "Give him another 20 minutes, I'll have it done for thee." Well, there's this tight silence, they nost. Then bang, down went the dominoes. Foreman waddled out, followed by the rest. And they got out in the straight, and they just stood there gawping. Owd Grandad Piggott had fanged out of this pick, and while he'd been in the pub, he'd fetched 20 yards of pavement out on his own. "Hey, what doing?" Foreman says. Owd Grandad says, "I'm showing you lot how to fetch a pavement up." "They costna do that," he says. Owd Grandad says, "It's too late, I've done it." Well, foreman's arms start going. I says, "They's just done 6 blokes out of 3 weeks' work." I says, "Why on the schedule reach that bloody gas lamp till 2 week on Friday and they 2 yards past it?" Well, these blokes didn't know what to do. They went in that, they come back out, then they went in again, then they brewed up, then they went warm. Well, next morning, their manager turned up. I took one look at what they'd done and I gave them our productivity bonus. They finished the job 10 days early. And it was talk of the depot for weeks how this gang of blokes had stretched themselves to breaking point. This foreman threatened sack Foss bloke as led out as a 73-year-old bloke had been let loose with a pick for an hour and a half.